If you shop at Walmart, and don't we all, then you need to pay close attention because we've got some really worrying news. I've told you before that you're most likely to encounter a skimmer at a convenience store or a location that isn't well lit. But in North Carolina, police recently found skimmers installed at Walmart stores in Greensboro and High Point. In California, skimmers have been spotted at Walmarts in Chula Vista, National City, and Sherman Heights. In Illinois, the state estimates that almost 3,000 low-income people had their SNAP benefits stolen after shopping at the Walmart in Dixon. Clearly, even popular, well-lit stores are not safe anymore. You have to always look for those skimmers when you swipe your card. Every time, guys. Every time. I know it's tedious, but you cannot take that risk. It is unbelievable how vulnerable EBT cards are. They are not safe or secure. In fact, they lack a lot of the essential protections that regular debit and credit cards have, like chips. When chips were required for credit and debit cards back in 2015, there was a 70% drop in fraud nationwide. But EBT cards still don't have chips, and nobody can give me a good reason why. That's why scammers love to steal those EBT benefits right now. It's so much easier than trying to steal money from other cards. Now in Florida, the Orlando Secret Service is warning users that traveling gangs are installing skimmers inside supermarkets and convenience stores in the area. It looks like there are many different organized crime rings running these operations nationwide. San Diego news provider CBS 8 has reported that the U.S. Secret Service is investigating a Romanian crime ring that's been stealing EBT benefits there. In March, a Romanian woman was arrested after allegedly using stolen EBT benefits to buy $250,000 in merchandise. It's bad out there and it's only getting worse, so please keep your benefits safe. Now, before we move into the rest of our news segment, I do have a quick question for you. Do you think the phrase food stamps is offensive? NPR recently did a story on the use of the word food stamps versus SNAP, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. We're getting closer and closer to seeing that farm bill come up for review in Congress, and it seems like all the lobbyists are out in force trying to influence this legislation. Just a quick reminder, the farm bill is the law that governs food stamps, and it has to be renewed every 5 years. The current farm bill expires this year, so Congress needs to pass a new one by the end of the year. Now, in the lead up to this debate, which is sure to be a showdown, we're seeing a lot of different campaigns making different requests. For example, the Organic Natural Health Association has started a campaign to encourage lawmakers to authorize vitamin D supplements as a SNAP-eligible food. Their argument is that it's no longer practical or realistic for people to get enough vitamin D from the sun or from diet alone, and that low-income Americans need to access these supplements to stay healthy. You can get more information about their initiative at allforvitamind.com. The Center for Science and the Public Interest is pushing the Healthy SNAP Act of 2023, saying that they need to strengthen the nutrition incentive programs. Now, those in nutrition incentive programs are the same things that fund the Double Up Food Bucks program we've talked about and the healthy food prescriptions and things like that. Unfortunately, the same bill they're talking about is the same one that would restrict the purchase of any sort of junk food, candy, cake, sugary, anything from food stamps. The National Grocers Association and the Food Industry Association are campaigning to remove EBT processing fees. The current Farm Bill provided a temporary ban on those fees, but these organizations want that ban to become permanent. They're worried that when the USDA modernizes those EBT cards with chips finally, that retailers will have to pay expensive processing fees to accept those cards. And they claim that retailers will either increase the cost of their items or stop accepting SNAP altogether because of those fees. Now, many Congress members have also been busy introducing their own bills about SNAP food benefits, but it doesn't look like many of those are making progress in Congress, so I want to talk to you about that today. I was really excited to tell you about the Keeping Kapuna Fed Act last month because that bill would drastically improve the amount of food stamps that seniors can get because it would remove Social Security from the income calculation, and I think that is brilliant. Now, unfortunately, there hasn't been any action taken on that bill since June 1st. I'm very worried that we're going to see this die in committee, so it's important to reach out to your congressional representatives to express your support for this bill. This is especially true if you are represented by one of the lawmakers who serves on the Subcommittee on Nutrition, Foreign Agriculture, and Horticulture, since that is the committee that is currently holding this bill and not taking action on it. That committee has 21 members from various states, including Colorado, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. If you are represented by any of these people, please reach out to them and encourage them to take action on the Keeping Kapuna Fed Act right away. Similarly, the Senior Hunger Prevention Act of 2023 that would raise the minimum SNAP benefit for seniors to $95 has also stalled out in committee. This one is stuck in the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry. This committee includes senators from Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Nebraska, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, and Vermont. If you are represented by any of these senators, please contact them and express your support for the Senior Hunger Prevention Act of 2023. Now, in the meantime, if you are using SNAP, there are a few other things that you need to know. The Mercado app now accepts SNAP benefits for payment. They have over 1,500 stores on their platform, and the goal is to add as many stores as possible in low-income neighborhoods to make that online ordering more accessible for everyone. We've also found 15 new EBT discounts in 11 states. The new additions include aquariums, zoos, botanical gardens, children's museums, and more in California, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Maine, Minnesota, Nebraska, New York, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, and Texas. You can get the details on those, as well as over 1,000 other EBT discounts nationwide at lowincomerelief.com/EBT. Now let's get into some local news. In Arizona, the state has received approval to start replacing stolen SNAP, food, and TANF cash benefits that have been stolen. If you've had your benefits stolen, you will need to call 1-833-786-8823 or submit an EBT replacement request form in writing. In California, the Market Match program is back at local markets. If you'd like to get started with this, we have more information about this and other double-up options in California at lowincomerelief.com. In Georgia, thousands of low-income people have had to wait for months for their SNAP benefits. The state's Department of Human Services has released a statement about this, and they are claiming that federal regulations have caused the delay. The state made 84,420 renewals in May and is still working to fix their backlog, but unfortunately there's no word on when this problem will be completely fixed. If it is affecting you, I am so sorry. Please visit your local food banks and call 211 for additional assistance. In Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, Fred Meyer and QFC stores are now accepting EBT for online grocery orders. You can use those cards to purchase eligible items through the Fred Meyer app, QFC app, or the websites for either store. In Indiana, the Farmed and Foraged Market in LaPorte now accepts SNAP benefits. They also offer live cooking demonstrations on the second Sunday of every month, so that sounds pretty exciting. In Maine, Farm Fresh Rewards has switched from paper vouchers to a discount at checkout, which makes it so much easier to get that discount on your fruits, vegetables, legumes, and seedlings. You can get a 50% discount when you buy those things from participating providers with your SNAP benefits. We have more information about how that program works at lowincomerelief.com. Also in Maine, the Bar Harbor Eden Farmers Market now accepts SNAP benefits as well. They also participate in Maine Harvest Bucks so that you can get extra food for free. In Massachusetts, the Framingham Farmers Market is now open and accepting SNAP benefits. In Michigan, the Michigan House has approved a bill that would completely remove the asset test for food stamps. Now, some lawmakers are opposed to this because they think it would allow rich people with a lot of savings to get food benefits, but advocates are saying that this just makes sense because different governors have set the different asset limits to different amounts. It's made it really hard for the state to keep up on their applications and recertifications, and it just makes it confusing for people in the state. So they're saying if we do away with that, the state will be able to do a better job of keeping up on their paperwork and avoiding all of that red tape. Now in Missouri, the state has finally started issuing PEBT benefits for summer 2022. That's right, that state is a full year behind on summer PEBT benefits. However, the state has finally started issuing those $391 deposits for eligible children. But Missouri is also one of 10 states that has not submitted a plan to issue 2023 benefits, so I have no idea if or when those extra $120 a child payments will be issued. In Montana, the state has announced that they will not accept federal funds for the PEBT program this year. This means that low-income families with children will not get PEBT in Montana this year. The Montana Food Bank Network has said that this will leave 73,000 children at risk of food insecurity, but the state said they just couldn't do it because there were too many administrative hurdles to accomplish it. In New York, don't be surprised if you start seeing signs about EBT skimming warnings in your local stores. New legislation has passed that requires local businesses to post consumer warnings about potential SNAP skimming risks. The hope is that these signs will make everyone more alert and aware, thereby reducing the number of victims who are affected by these scams. I'm really hoping those signs show you how to spot a skimmer, because it's probably the most helpful notice they could post. Meanwhile, the workers who help serve low-income people in New York are fleeing their jobs at very high rates. New York State Focus reports that poor working conditions for social service workers are causing people to leave their jobs, which only makes backlogs worse and strains the people who are still working there. People in these positions often find they can make more money working at fast food or retail, and those jobs don't have the same emotional burden. So if you're interacting with the people at New York Social Services, please be kind to them. We can't afford to lose any more of those guys. In South Carolina, a new program called EBT Perks helps low-income families get free and discounted admission with their EBT cards. We're getting all of these new opportunities added to our South Carolina EBT discount list so that you can find all of the potential EBT discounts in one place. In Tennessee, the director of the Castle Ministries homeless shelter in Shelbyville has been arrested for trafficking food stamps. This is the second time that Brenda Knight has been arrested for this. The first time she was charged with exploiting the homeless and the elderly by stealing over $1,000 from the people who stayed at the shelters she runs. This month she was arrested again and faces 8 charges of food stamps trafficking. Allegedly, Brenda told people that they had to give her all of the money in their bank accounts to stay at the shelter, and then demanded that they use their SNAP benefits to buy food for the shelter as well. According to Nashville's News Channel 5, Brenda doesn't think she did anything wrong here, but she's due in court next month, so we'll see how that works out for her. In Texas, a new law called the SNAP Vehicle Asset Test has made it easier for people to get food benefits. The law increases the asset limits for your vehicle. The new changes take effect September 1st. In Washington, D.C., the D.C. Metro Lift program is now accepting applications. When you enroll, you can get a 50% discount on your Metro bus and Metro Rail fares. You are automatically eligible for this if you receive SNAP benefits in Maryland, Virginia, or Washington, D.C. You can enroll online or in person. Now that's all the low-income news I have for you today. Make sure you stay subscribed to our channel for our low-income news updates that happen every Saturday. I'll see you there.